Hi everyone, welcome to Principles of Reasoning, our introductory course to critical thinking. My name is Christine Young and I will be your professor. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I did my undergraduate at Cornell University. There I double majored in philosophy and biology. Then I went on to get my PhD in philosophy at University of Pittsburgh. So for reasons I can't really go into, I left academia for a while and I went into healthcare for a little bit and then public health. I got a master's in public health and I've recently worked in a few nonprofit organizations in that field. But I really miss teaching philosophy, so I am very excited and thrilled to be back to have this opportunity. So about my teaching career, I have taught for like 7 years at University of Pittsburgh, both as a TA and as an independent instructor. The subjects I've taught covered pretty much across the board. I've taught from intro to philosophy to logic, ethics, social philosophy, and you know, so on. But what I'm perhaps most interested and excited about teaching is critical thinking, because this is not just something of interest to philosophers, right? I mean, thinking is found everywhere in our lives. I mean, we struggle to make sense of what's happening around us, of our problems in our public or private lives through reasoning. And every day we're inundated with information and arguments, especially in our age of social media. People are always trying to convince us of one thing or another. So, how should we respond intelligently? How should we engage in these discourses productively? So, in order to process all that, we want to sort out valuable information from misinformation, right? Good arguments from fallacious ones. This is where critical thinking comes in. Okay. So in our class, what we're going to do is we're going to slow down and put a magnifying glass on our thinking and see what is really going on when we're arguing, right? So we can assess arguments, how to evaluate them, identify common patterns of fallacies. Okay, so we can, when we go back to our society, go back to our everyday lives, we can see which ones are misleading, which arguments are misleading, and also how to identify information from misinformation, reliable information from those that are not reliable. Okay, now let me get into the course. First of all, about the lectures. The lectures will be a series of narrated PowerPoint presentations. You will be responsible for both the audio as well as the video contents. Okay, so make sure to listen to the narration, not just go through the slides. Okay, so go to a slideshow and then play the presentation. Okay, I have chosen to do this asynchronously, um, you know, to avoid schedule conflict. When I was an undergrad, that was always a big issue, trying to get courses taken in the right semester so you can, you know, your undergraduate career can proceed smoothly, and that's been always an issue. Um, However, there are challenges with asynchronous teaching. In the past, I've always taught in class, and I've always been close to my students, okay? And I know them, I know where they are in the course, what they can do well, what their trouble spots are, and that's really helped me guide, that's provided guidance for my lectures, what I need to address, and as well as for designing the level of difficulty of exams. Right? While there is a minimum level of difficulty I have to observe, I mean, this is Howard University, and the course must represent, its quality and reputation. But at the same time, it really doesn't help to have an exam that's so hard that I end up failing half the class. Okay, so in order to know what is the best level at which to write these exams, I need to know where you guys are. All right, I need to know what you're finding trouble with and how to help you. Okay, so the crucial part here is we've got to stay in touch. And there are many ways of doing that. I will have virtual office hours. You're always welcome to make appointments. In the past, I've spent a lot of time doing one-on-one mentoring. And this has been crucial in a lot of students' success. So this, I do not think of this as something that's extra. I see that as part of the course, okay? And this is, you know, what you're paying for, right? Everybody can get a textbooks without paying for, you know, a class. You're paying for the professor's time. So come talk to me, even if you may not have problem, but you just want to make sure we're on the same page, right? You think that this is the right way to answer a question, how to parse out an argument, and you want to make sure that I think the same way. So we won't deal with this kind of conflict on exam day. Okay. So please do not be shy. I totally rely on you to come and talk to me and seek me out. Okay. Now, the textbook. So this is a textbook we should get. I'm sorry, you can only get the mirror image of. It's called a workbook for arguments, complete course in critical reasoning, critical thinking, third edition by Morrow and Weston. This is available on Amazon if you can't get it anywhere else. And also, Amazon has a Kindle version that's for half the price. If you like ebooks, you can do that. I really like this book because it's really well written. It goes down pretty easily. So I really recommend you read it. Okay. I think you'll like it, seriously. Also, it is written for the general undergraduate audience. Okay, this is not just for people who want to go into philosophy or something like that. And it draws on examples from, you know, real life examples from our everyday culture. So, and these are the kind of issues these are the kind of examples I want to use. There are also a lot of exercises. Okay, after every section, it has a series of exercises, and the odd ones, it has, you know, solutions in the back. They're called, by the way, that's part 2 of the book. And they're called the model responses. That's because this is not like math. There's not just one, you know, answer, right? There are many ways of putting, putting the arguments in the right form. They're all pretty similar. You should get a feel for it. But, you know, both myself and authors can only say, okay, you know, this is good way to, you know, rephrase this argument or how to answer this question. Okay, so it's very important here because there's a certain amount of inarticulatable subjectivity that we need to be on the same page. Okay, and you need to know what counts, right, as the right answer. And the best way to do that is to go through the lectures, look at the examples that's been worked out. Okay, look at the exercises and the solutions. And so it's, you know, and this class is all about application. Okay, it's not really worth regurgitating definitions, even though you're expected to know them. But it's really about how you can use, because after all, critical thinking is a skill, right? Okay. So how to do well in this course. Oh, by the way, before I say that, sorry. I also want to say that there will in general be no curves in this class. Okay, no curves on exams, no curves on grades. There's no competition here. I have to, you know, I've taken 3 statistics courses. I know about the normal curve, and I really believe that does not apply to a class of 40 students. Okay, so I think the ideal situation is everybody gets an A. That would be terrific. And that's what I'm going to try to help you guys do, help you achieve the intellectual goals that, you know, you've set for yourselves. But however, there is one little caveat. If on an exam, in retrospect, I see there's a problem that I think was unfair, I will take that out and adjust everybody's grades accordingly. So people may see their grades go up a little bit, okay? But you will not see your grades go down. That would be the only situation in which, you know, grades will be revised after they've been given, okay? Now, how to do well in this course. The most important thing is follow the course in a timely manner, okay, as the lectures are delivered. At least have, you know, covered the lectures, looked at the problems, within the week of the lectures. Okay, I have thought about giving out weekly homework exercises to make sure all my students are always, on board. But I withheld from doing that because, well, you guys all adults, right? You guys are all college students. You know how to struggle. How to budget your time. If you're struggling with that, then it's something that you will need to learn, anyways. And hopefully, you will not have to learn this in a hard way. Okay, so I'm going to just tell you um, to keep up, but I will not make you. Okay, you can fall behind, but you've got to exercise that discipline yourself. That's part of undergraduate life. So what's really important about doing this in timely manner is you need to understand where your weaknesses are, what you may have problems with, and then come seek help, right? And because that can take a few days, and then afterwards you need to make sure that, oh yeah, now your problems are resolved. If not, you're gonna have to seek help again. So this can take a week or 2 weeks. Meanwhile, the courses keep is keep going is sorry the course is still going forward, so you can easily fall really far behind and get yourself in a hole that you can dig out, right? You want to prevent yourself from doing that, and this is a lesson for all your courses, not just this one. Okay, so study in a timely manner, come seek help as soon as you don't understand something or you have issues with anything. Okay, and other is focus on application. You may go through the slides or through the lecture and say, oh, I understand all this, it's not too hard, but you've got to do the problems to make sure you're actually applying them, right, properly. Okay, and we'll talk a lot more about exercises and how to do that. Okay, so above all, stay in touch with me. I'm sorry, I did that. Stay in touch with me so we make sure we are on the same page about the course, about course material, what counts as the right response. I really want to take that kind of guesswork out of your experience, because I know as an undergrad sometimes half the time is learning stuff and half time is just guessing what does the teacher mean when she's asking this question, what does she have in mind as the right answer. That's not part of what I want to test you guys, right? That's not part of what is meaningful evaluation. So I will do my best to be transparent about say the exam structure, as well as what's the right way to answer questions and so on. But I also need your feedback. Okay, it's a two-way thing. So stay in touch. That's extremely important. Okay, so that's all I have to say for the introduction. And if you have not done so, please go check out the first lecture that is posted right now. Okay, that's it.